Russia is pounding Ukraine with airstrikes, artillery and missile barrages. Russian President Vladimir Putin has challenged US President Donald Trump and begun a heavy offensive in Ukraine. But as the bombs keep falling, time is quickly running out for outmanned Ukraine, even as second round of talks is scheduled in Turkey on June 2nd. Russia says it has halted the Ukrainian advance in the regions of Sumy, Kharkiv and Donetsk. Moscow claims its forces have taken control of at least 3 key settlements in Kharkiv, adding that they have intercepted over 120 Ukrainian drones and multiple guided bombs in just a span of 24 hours. Russian forces also launched a drone attack overnight, targeting Izmail, which is Ukraine's biggest port on the Danube River. The town is extremely important for Ukraine's imports, located just across the river from Romania. And according to the region's governor, a post office branch was destroyed in the Russian drone attack. And footage from the State Emergency Service of Ukraine also showed firefighters extinguishing a fire at the site. A wave of Russian missiles and drone attacks also struck the Ukrainian city of Kharkiv, causing severe destruction and injuring at least 11 people. Firefighters here, too, could be seen dousing a huge ball of fire. But while the barrage of missiles and drones continue, another kind of fire is threatening to erupt behind closed doors. Washington appears to have grown tired of Kiev's hesitation over peace negotiations. Trump's special envoy Keith Kellogg has warned Kiev against skipping the peace talks scheduled for June 2nd in Istanbul, also making it very clear that Russia's long-standing objection to NATO's expansion towards its border, including Ukraine, is not entirely irrational, adding that Washington has no intention of bringing Ukraine into NATO anytime soon. It's perhaps a sobering reality for Kiev that has for years clung to the hope of NATO membership as its ultimate security guarantee. Meanwhile, the Kremlin says it is ready for a second round of direct talks, and Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov brushed off Ukraine's demands for a written memorandum as unconstructive.
Россия как раз и предложила в понедельник встретиться в Стамбуле и начать обсуждение этих проектов. Поэтому требовать медленно, это все неконструктивно. Здесь нужно или подтверждать готовность продолжать переговоры.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he's still waiting for a formal document that lays out Russia's real position on the talks.
Even the so-called memorandum they promised and seemingly prepared for more than a week has still not been seen by anyone. Ukraine didn't get it. Our partners didn't get it. Even Turkey, which was hosting the first meeting, didn't get the new agenda.
Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron has now openly challenged Washington. Macron said, if Russia proves it is unwilling to make peace, then the United States, in his words, must confirm its commitment to impose sanctions on Russia, calling it, and I'm quoting Macron here, credibility test for America.
I do not believe that the post-Kiev situation is a credibility issue for the Europeans. I think it is a test of credibility for the Americans. We Europeans have been consistent for 3 years. We sanction Russia, we help Ukraine, and we do not want the escalation leading to a new world war.
So the United States has drawn a line. France is raising the stakes, and Ukraine, it is simply running out of options at this point of time. Away from politics, in a personal gesture, Russia's President Vladimir Putin held a warm welcome for Ake Abe, wife of late ex-President Shinzo Abe, at the Kremlin today. Putin walked in with a large bouquet of pink roses for Shinzo Abe's widow. He also conveyed to Ake Abe how her late husband played an important role in restoring bilateral ties between the two countries. Ake Abe responded with heartfelt remarks of her own.
I saw that he was sincerely striving for the full restoration of the Russian-Japanese cooperation. He was doing a lot for that. We are very grateful to him for his position. We have always respected his work in this area, and we remember his contribution to the development of Russian-Japanese cooperation.
Today, as the main goal of my conversation, I would like to express to you my sincere gratitude for the fact that you have so actively developed a dialogue with my husband and strive to develop relations between our countries. I can say that my husband, even after the beginning of such a difficult situation related to Ukraine, was eager to meet you and had such hope.
Putin's gesture did not stop with flowers and kind words about the late former Prime Minister of Japan. After the meeting, the Russian president offered Abe his personal limousine for a ride to the iconic Bolshoi Theatre. Take a look. Kremlin said that the visit is not an official one, but Putin's gesture is reminiscent of the warm ties between Japan and Russia. During the prime ministership of Shinzo Abe, that is. Putin and Abe had good personal ties. Both held 15 summit meetings in Japan, Russia and other global venues, reflecting their commitment to resolve key issues in Russia-Japan ties. Israel has accepted a new U.S. proposal for a ceasefire with Hamas, a move that makes the U.S. optimistic about ending the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza. Yet, hours after it was announced, Israel continued to bomb Gaza. On Friday, Palestinians fled the scene of an Israeli strike in Gaza City, which caused multiple injuries, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry, that is. In Jabalia, videos from the scene of the Israeli strike showed Palestinians rummaging through the rubble of damaged buildings. A young girl was seen salvaging some bracelets. Another young boy, some pillows. At least 12 people, including 3 women, were reportedly killed overnight in the strikes on Jabalia. Videos showed displaced Palestinians suffered acute injuries from Israeli airstrikes that have destroyed countless communities in the Strip and caused great human loss and heartbreaks to Palestinians. As Israel's blockage of international aid continues, Gaza's residents said that they are being robbed of the hope for a peaceful life.
People heard news about a ceasefire. Then civilians sleeping in their homes, unarmed, civilians sleeping in their homes, were surprised by random shelling. And here they are, civilians cut in pieces. We have stopped calling on Arab and Muslim countries. We appeal to every free person in this world.
Israel's killings of Palestinians in Gaza has left behind a horrifying trail of death. And for those who have survived, it's a daily ritual of blanket bombings, adding horror on horror for over 601 days now. Palestinians in Gaza have endured hunger, thirst, displacement, and relentless aerial strikes.
Last night they said there would be a truce at 9 p.m. Suddenly at 12:30 a.m. the vision changed. At 12:30 a.m. instead of feeling joy, I looked up and saw martyrs, some with their heads flying, some with their hands flying, dead children on the streets.
The Israeli military also released footage that it claimed showed troops operating in the Gaza Strip. In a statement, the Israeli army said troops continue to combat Hamas militants in Khan Yunis. Just a day ago, on Thursday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirmed that his government has accepted a U.S. proposal for a Gaza ceasefire and hostage release. The proposal does not require Israel to commit to ending its 19-month offensive in Gaza, but it requires both Israel and Hamas to engage in talks for long-term truce. The United States, Egypt and Qatar will serve as guarantors of the ceasefire deal. And now Hamas says it is reviewing the new proposal that the United States says has been signed off on by Israel. The group has said that the proposal in its current form will only result in more killings in Gaza. So what exactly does the U.S. proposal say? According to news agency Reuters, the U.S. plan proposes a 60-day ceasefire and the release of 28 Israeli hostages alive or dead in the first week. In exchange, Israel will release 1,236 Palestinian prisoners and the remains of 180 dead Palestinians. The truce document that says the plan is guaranteed by U.S. President Donald Trump and mediators Egypt and Qatar includes sending humanitarian aid to Gaza as soon as Hamas signs off on the ceasefire agreement. So as of now, the ball really is in Hamas's court. The Palestinian group has told Reuters that it is reviewing the plan and will respond by Friday or Saturday. Remember, Israel resumed its military offensive in March following the collapse of the US-backed ceasefire that had temporarily halted fighting for 2 months. In total, Israel's military campaign in Gaza has killed more than 53,000 Palestinians. And as the bombings on Gaza continues to rise, so does the outrage. Over 300 celebrities in the United Kingdom, including artists, actors, singers, doctors, and even a Holocaust survivor, have come together to say, enough is enough. In an open letter addressed to British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Grammy-winning singer Dua Lipa, Golden Globe-winning actor Brian Cox, and BAFTA-winning actor Benedict Cumberbatch joined several other noted stars in demanding that the United Kingdom should end its complicity in the horrors in Gaza. The letter released on Thursday calls on the United Kingdom to immediately suspend all arms sales to Israel, ensure unrestricted humanitarian aid into Gaza, and also broker a permanent ceasefire. It argues, and I quote here, words will not feed Palestinian children. This complicity is not inevitable. It is a choice. The signatories accused the UK government of enabling Israel's military campaign, saying that UK-made components may be, and I'm quoting here, destroying families in seconds, which the UK has been supplying to Israel. The appeal from the stars come on the same day as Israel announced plans to legalize 22 settlements in the occupied West Bank, while continuing its strikes on Gaza. Imagine kids saving for retirement before even hitting puberty. Well, Germany's new early start pension plan might just do that. Berlin wants kids as young as 6-year-olds to start saving for retirement. It's a bold new plan that banks on time and teaches kids the value of €1 early. But is this financial head start a game changer or just pocket change? Our next report telling you more.
Germany is flipping the script on retirement by asking, why wait to save when you can start before you've even lost your first tooth? A new proposal could soon have 6-year-olds socking away cents for their golden years, a move that blends the primary education with retirement. The idea is simple. Give kids a head start with small monthly contributions into long-term savings accounts, planting the seeds of financial security before they can even spell compound interest. And in the world of investing, time isn't just money, it's magic. A few euros at age 6 can grow into a small fortune by 66, thanks to the slow and steady snowball of compounding. But it's not just about euros and interest rates. It's also about raising money-smart minds. Teaching children the basics of budgeting, saving and investing turns piggy banks into powerful tools. Early exposure to financial concepts can build habits that stick and prevent future facepalms over credit card debt or empty retirement accounts. Of course, critics argue whether this plan truly adds up. But symbolically, it's a loud and clear message. Financial literacy shouldn't be a grown-up only club. By linking playgrounds with portfolios, Germany may be setting a precedent that pays off. In the end, the lesson is timeless. It's never too early to save and never too soon to learn. Because when it comes to money, starting small and starting early isn't child's play. It's the smartest game in town. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
Elon Musk's Mars dreams are colliding with NASA's lunar ambitions. SpaceX Starship, the rocket meant to conquer both the moon and Mars, keeps failing spectacularly. NASA's 2027 moon landing hangs in the balance. The big question, can Musk deliver or will his vision be grounded? Take a look.
In the race to resume human trips to the moon, NASA's plans are facing a setback, a string of failures suffered by SpaceX's Starship. The world's most powerful rocket is handicapping its efforts to ferry astronauts to the lunar surface and eventually to Mars. Each failure has been more public and explosive than the last. And with every failed launch, the clock is ticking for NASA's Artemis program that aims to land astronauts near the moon's south pole by 2027. SpaceX, the titan of private spaceflight, now finds its Mars ambitions entangled with something far more immediate and pressing: NASA's bid to return humans on the moon. SpaceX owner and the world's wealthiest man, Elon Musk, says whatever the failures, every launch is a step forward as he moves ahead with more bigger rocket launches.
So we're developing some next generation Starships, which have a number of improvements versus our current gen. So it's taller, for example, and has a better the interstage between the ship and the booster. You can see that sort of the sort of struts there. That makes it easier for the flame. Like that right there.
NASA's Artemis mission is the cornerstone of American space leadership, intended to reassert dominance over China and set the stage for future missions to Mars. The agency's plan hinges on a complex plan, launching astronauts aboard the Space Launch System and Orion capsule, docking with a modified Starship in lunar orbit, and using that Starship as a lunar lander. But this intricate choreography is at risk. SpaceX must not only perfect the Starship, but also establish orbital fuel depots and conduct uncrewed landings, milestones that remain unmet after 9 test flights. Moon was to be the stepping stone before flying off to the Mars.
It's not a repetition of Apollo. What we do here is you go to the moon to go beyond the moon. So the moon is the first step to foster and check out all our technology before we go to Mars.
The stakes could not be higher. With billions invested and national pride on the line, the pressure is mounting on both NASA and SpaceX to get it right. As the world watches, one question looms. Will Musk's Mars dreams lift off, or will NASA's moon mission be left waiting on the launch pad?
Bureau Report, WION, World is One.